The casting room was almost blindingly white, the kind of sterile brightness that makes you feel exposed. Behind a long, imposing table sat the judges, a panel of impassive faces that had seen it all. Hopeful actors lined the walls, each one polished and poised, radiating a practiced confidence. Then, a woman stepped forward. She was dressed simply, almost forgettably, clutching a single sheet of paper in her hand. A few of the other hopefuls exchanged looks, a silent, dismissive judgment passing between them. Her presence was quiet, unassuming, easily lost in the sea of ambition. She began, her voice a little shaky at first. Before she could get more than a few lines out, one of the judges, a man with tired eyes and a perfectly tailored suit, held up his hand. He sighed, a sound heavy with impatience. He didn't even look at her, just at the papers in front of him. "Thank you," he said, the words sharp and final. "You're just ... not the right fit for this." Another judge nodded in agreement, already looking past her to the next person in line. A security guard near the door took a step forward, a clear, unspoken signal for her to leave. The dismissal hung in the air, cold and absolute. The other actors watched, a mix of pity and relief on their faces. It was just another rejection in a room built on them. She walked toward the door, her steps slow and measured. The rustle of papers and quiet coughs filled the silence she left behind. But then, she stopped, her hand hovering just above the doorknob. The room grew still. Every eye in the room, from the judges to the hopefuls, was suddenly fixed on her. The security guard froze, uncertain. It was a tiny moment of defiance, a pause that seemed to stretch for an eternity. The air crackled with unspoken questions. What was she doing? She turned back, her face calm, her eyes meeting the judge's gaze directly. She held up the paper she was clutching. A sentence appeared on the screen, her voice unheard. "Before I go, I wrote this from my life." Suddenly, were pulled into her world, flashes of a life lived on the margins. A young girl scribbling in a worn notebook under the dim light of a street lamp, working late nights at a thankless job, her face etched with exhaustion, practicing lines in a tiny, cracked mirror. A pile of rejection letters, each one a paper cut to the soul. We see her crying in a dimly lit stairwell, but then, the tears dry. We see a quiet determination hardening in her eyes. It wasn't about fame or fortune, it was about being heard. We're back in the room, and the camera pushes in on the judges' faces. The tired judge's pen has stopped moving. He's looking at her now, really looking. The woman next to him has leaned forward, her elbows on the table, her mask of indifference completely gone. A younger judge at the end of the table has his mouth slightly agape, captivated. The room is so quiet, you could hear a pin drop. She takes a breath, and this time, when she speaks, her voice is transformed. It's not loud, but it fills the entire room. Every word is steady, infused with a raw, controlled emotion that comes from a place of deep truth. She's not acting anymore, she's sharing a piece of her soul. The lines she speaks are the very ones she wrote under that street lamp, the ones she practiced into that cracked mirror. They tell a story of struggle, of resilience, of a spirit that refused to be broken. It's powerful, it's real, it's undeniable. When she finishes, a profound silence hangs in the room for a beat. And then, it breaks. One of the judges, the one who had leaned forward, slowly rises to his feet, his hands coming together in applause. Then another stands, and another. Soon, the entire panel is on its feet, their applause echoing through the bright white room. The other actors, their earlier smirks gone, are now watching in stunned admiration, some joining the ovation. The quiet woman stands there, a single tear tracing a path down her cheek, not of sadness, but of release. The final text appears on the screen. Never judge the quiet one. Thanks for watching. If this story moved you, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content that inspires.